everyone, I'm Leigh, if you don't know me, and if you do know me and you're back, thank you so much. I'm glad to have you guys back. Today we are talking about my 2020 favorites. So this is gonna include a lot of different categories. We've got beauty, makeup, hair, home, jewelry, podcast, kind of. I've got explaining to do in that area. A lot of different stuff, basically. We're wrapping up the year. 2020 is almost over. I don't know if this video is going out on Christmas Eve or New Year's Eve, but happy holidays. I hope you're having a wonderful time, whatever you're doing, wherever you're doing it. Have fun, be safe. I feel like collectively we are so happy this year is almost over. Not that anything is going to change significantly when the clock strikes 12, whatever, it still feels good, okay? Hang on to that feeling. I'm feeling it with you. Today we're talking about favorites. I'm not gonna get off track. I've got a lot of things to talk to you about. As I was planning this video, I was like, do I even have favorites from this year? Like, what even happened this year? It feels like it went by so fast, and it's been just such a weird year as far as like shopping, makeup, just living life in general. Like, I work from home anyway, so that part of my life didn't change, but it changed for a lot of people out there. It just changed everyday habits. It changed how we live our lives, and inevitably that's gonna change your relationship with makeup and shopping and all of the stuff that kind of contributes to this kind of video. So I was like, I don't have anything to talk about. But as I was going through my days and recognizing my everyday favorites, stuff that has stuck with me all year long, things that I discovered this year that have changed the game, and I've repurchased them a million times. Like, just kidding. I have a lot of stuff to talk to you about. But it really was like a getting back to basics kind of year. And the favorites that I have to share with you, especially makeup wise, are not like the, whoa, hot new release, like gotta have it $1 million kind of product. It's like, this is the stuff that just worked for me, and I kept going back to it because it was just easy and it worked and it was an everyday thing. And like, I don't know, do you know what I mean? Oh, and I don't want to forget to mention, in case you missed it, I did a top 20 of 2020 Amazon favorites video covering every single kind of category. I had tons of favorites. I actually had more than 20 favorites, but obviously top 20 of 2020 sounds better. So definitely check that out. I will link that down below. And I actually forgot something very important that should have gone in that video, so I'm gonna mention it here later on. It has to be done. No more explaining. I hope you're having a good time no matter what day at the end of the year it is. I hope you're happy. I'm glad you're here. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed. If you've already subscribed, thank you so much. You are my people and I love you. Longest intro ever. I'm sorry. Okay, let's talk about something that truly changed my life this year. And I can't believe, as I was looking back, I just discovered it this year. It is the Amika Perk Up Dry Shampoo. I have been a Batiste girl forever. I've tried a million different dry shampoos. Dry shampoo keeps me going. And even though I really love the brand Amika, I had never tried their dry shampoo until this year. It smells like heaven. It is light on your hair. It doesn't give you that gritty texture. It doesn't weigh down your hair. It doesn't make it feel dirtier. I don't understand when dry shampoos make your hair feel dirty. It might make it look better, but it feels gross. This stuff is incredible. I've started to use it on day 2, like day 2 hair every single time, no matter what. And then I use it every night after that until I wash my hair, and it keeps my hair looking so fresh. It keeps it light, fluffy. It doesn't take the volume out. It doesn't weigh it down. I just can't say enough good things about it. I've repurchased it so many times this year. I've talked about it 100,000 times. I'm sure you've already heard me talk about it, but it is that good and it is totally worth it. Absolutely recommend. Next thing I want to talk about, this is a favorite I don't think I've talked to you about on videos. Maybe I've mentioned it on my story on Instagram, but not in a favorites video because it's relatively new. I got it a couple months ago. I just randomly picked it up at CVS. It was in like this little display, so I think it's new. My CVS is not the most reliable. Who knows how long those little like new release setups have been out there, really? But ever since I bought it, I've been wearing it basically every single day. And when people ask me what's on my lips, it's always this. And it's a lip liner by Maybelline. It's a shaping lip liner in the color Dusty Rose. And it's just the perfect color for me. I love the consistency. I love how it stays on my lips. And most often I wear this by itself. I outline my lips and even, okay, it's a shaping lip liner and I like, what does that even mean? But I do feel like it makes it easier for me to do like a slight overline. I am definitely not bold enough to do like the full overline like you sometimes see. I don't really feel like that works for me or my lip shape, but like an ever so slight like overline like on the top lip or whatever, I feel like it works so well with this lip liner. I don't know what's different about it, but it's just amazing. I love the color. I love the consistency. It's so easy to put on and it's comfortable. It doesn't dry out my lips when I wear it alone. It works well with my other lip products that I like to use most often, and I just love it. I love that it's from the drugstore. You should definitely try it. Okay, and another thing that I haven't talked about in videos yet I've been wearing every single day for months. I don't know how this happens. This is a ColourPop palette that they actually sent to me, and it's called That's Taupe. I feel like they sent it to me a very long time ago, and when I first looked at it, I was like, not for me. I'm not a cool tones girl. It's not my usual thing. My usual thing for years, if you've been watching my channel a while, you know I've been stuck on this palette. It's Viseart Neutral Warm Matte palette. I don't even know what it's called, even though I've been using it for 5 years. This is a pricey palette. It's a matte palette. It's warm tones, and it's just kind of perfect in every way. And I've been stuck on it for so long. I know, very boring, but I'm just kind of like not wearing crazy eyeshadow. It's just not where I'm at right now, and it's not interesting to me anymore. So very stuck on that palette for a million years. Suddenly I start using this palette, and now I'm stuck on this one. And honestly, I really just use this top row and this bottom one, and then also I use this darkest matte color as my wing. Like I have it as my wing right now. I love this palette. It is so nice. It is so easy to use, and it totally complements my eyes. And actually just recently I went back and I used some warm toned eyeshadows, like nothing crazy, but I didn't like it. Like I really genuinely missed this palette. I think this palette is like under $20. So absolutely worth it. I really never thought that cool tones complimented me or my eyes, but like I was wrong. Up front, from me to you, I was absolutely wrong. These are so pretty. They blend really well. They're very, very easy. I don't know, can you even see my makeup? That's what it looks like. Okay, next up, the great love of my life foundation-wise this year was the NARS Soft Matte Complete Foundation. I actually did a whole video testing out this foundation because pretty much all of the selling points are perfect for me. I have oily skin. I like foundation that stays on through the day, stays matte, stays put, because I just struggle with that so much. And this has been perfect for me. I love the finish. I actually apply it with my hands and it looks beautiful. I haven't put foundation on with my hands, with my fingers, and I don't know how long, maybe ever. Like it has never been part of my routine to put foundation on with my hands until this foundation. And it's just beautiful and wonderful. And I honestly like look forward to wearing it, even if I'm not going anywhere. I know that sounds crazy, but it's just that good. I love it. So next up, another product that really has surprised me how much I love it and how much I reach for it. It's the NYX 3 Steps to Sculpt Face Sculpting Palette. And I got it in the fair tones. And I decided to pick this up because it reminded me of an old favorite from Wet n Wild. They had a contour powder on one side and a highlight powder on the other, and I just love that. Actually, they probably still have it. But obviously, this one also has a really pretty highlight shade included, and I love the highlight. I used to use the highlight like almost every day. It's a pretty intense highlight, just be warned if you're not going for that. But what I most like about this palette is the contour shade. It's a cooler tone, and for a while, I really got away from that. And then I found this palette, and I kind of started getting pulled back into it. I started contouring my nose a little bit more, contouring my jawline a little bit more, and like, I don't know, I fell back in love with it because of this palette. And it's just like a NYX palette, and it's really good. Okay, next up, let's talk about some mascara favorites. So this year was the year I finally broke my lash extension addiction. I had them for, I think, over 3 years, and once COVID hit, obviously I was not getting my lashes done, and it was getting a little scary. I was approaching eczema territory, and I had to take my lashes off at home. I made a whole video about it. It was fun, and it was a difficult adjustment. I have very straight lashes, and I was really scared that I was gonna have like no lashes after having lash extensions for that long. And I really missed them for a while. I think I'm kind of over it now. Finally, now that we're at the end of the year, I don't know how many months it's been, but right now I actually feel like I have a really solid lash routine and I really like my natural lashes. Wow, crazy. If you have straight lashes, listen up, this is for you. So first of all, this lash curler. I thought all lash curlers were created equally and I was wrong once again. This is the Shiseido lash curler. It is incredible. I've always heard people talk about it and I thought like, you're overhyping this. It's a lash curler, whatever. Because I tried a bunch of different brands and none of them really stood out to me. Then I tried this one. It absolutely stands out. It makes a huge difference and it really makes it so much easier to curl your lashes and make them look pretty and not like all like, Was that a good visual reference? Probably not. It is absolutely worth it. I love it. I don't think I will ever use a different lash curler. Like, I know that's a wild statement, but that's how I feel. And then to actually keep my lashes curled, I use a thin layer of waterproof mascara. This is the Maybelline Falsies Lash Lift. This one was recommended by you guys. Thank you so much. It is really, really good. And then on top of that, I do a primer. This is the Marc Jacobs, I don't even know what they call it, Velvet Primer. It goes on kind of like a peach color. Very strange, but it works well. I absolutely love it. And then on top of that, I use the L'Oreal Telescopic mascara. This has been around for ages. I'm sure all of you have tried it. I had never tried it because I always understood it to be a very lengthening mascara, and it's got this incredibly strange rubber brush that is super thin and weird. And I was like, I don't want length, I want volume. And so I just thought it wasn't for me. But then I did that trying out your favorite mascaras video earlier this year. And a lot of you guys said this was your favorite. So I tried it and I get it, okay? It's amazing, I love it. These three mascaras together keep my lashes curled. I've got volume and I've got length. It's everything I've ever wanted. But I honestly think doing this lash routine is a lot more flattering for my face and my eyes. When I look back at pictures when I had my lash extensions, like, yes, I like it in a way because it looks like false lashes, but with the way my eyes are shaped, it kind of like closed my eye a little bit. So I'm happy and I definitely recommend all three of these plus the lash curler. Okay, next up, brows. Not a lot has changed with my brows. I'm still using my CoverGirl Easy Breezy Brow Gel. I still love that stuff. I still repurchase it. It's absolutely amazing. But I've added in the Benefit, what do we call this? Brow Microfilling Pen. I've tried a bunch of different brow pens. They're so easy to use and I love to pair them with a brow gel. But this one is really remarkable because it's got three little tips. So it's almost like an eyeliner, but it's brown and it's for your brows. And it's really amazingly efficient because you're actually drawing on 3 brow hairs at a time. And you can just do little fine flicks and you're done in like 2 seconds. And I just love the look. I mean, I'm really, really happy with how my brows have been looking. I get the blonde color and it works really well for me. I know I've talked about this before, but honestly, I feel like I can't talk about it enough. It is just that good. Next up, a setting spray. I got away from using setting sprays for years. I kind of just got over them. I felt like they were gimmicky. I felt like people were overusing them. It was overhyped. Like, I just didn't feel like they were doing enough for me to shell out the money, basically. And then I found this one and I have been in love with it for, I feel like, almost the whole year. And it's lasted me a really long time because I don't really use that much of it. It's the Makeup Forever Light Velvet Air Shine Controlling Refreshing Spray. I don't really use it as like a refreshing spray. I just use it as a setting spray. And I love it because I really do feel like it helps keep me matte. And as I've already stated in this video, I have a real problem doing that. And so anything that actually helps, I love it. Okay, we're finally almost done with the beauty section. These are some tanning drops that I fell in love with this year. They're by Tanologist. They're the self-tanning drops in dark. They're for face and body. I really mostly just use them for my face. I've done a whole video on my self-tanning routine and basically everything from that video has stayed the same, but I have added in these drops. And what I do with these is on a self-tanning day, the night of, I mix this in with my nighttime moisturizer, just like 1 or 2 drops. It really doesn't take very much. So this lasts me a really long time. And I just put it on like a regular moisturizer, scrub my hands down. If this like stays on your hands, it will not be good. It doesn't have a color guard, but most serum kind of self-tanning drops don't. I feel like it's very easy to use and you can definitely see a difference in the morning. It's not something you have to like keep using over and over and over and over again to see a difference. So I really, really like these, and I'm pretty sure these are less expensive than the ones I was using before. So that definitely added to the love. All right, now this is the last product from the hair and beauty section. It's the T3 curling iron. I will put the link down below and the measurement. I'm pretty sure it is a 1 1/4 inch, and I love it. Honestly, I tried not to love it because this thing is kind of pricey, and I kind of hate to fall in love with something super pricey because then I'm recommending it to you guys. And honestly, I would rather find the less expensive option and fall in love with that and recommend that because that's easier to access for everyone. But no matter how much I tried to resist it, I fell in love with this and it just works so well. I showed how I use it in my, I don't know, big bouncy waves tutorial. I did a hair tutorial showing how I do this hair, maybe even bigger, bouncier. And I used this, and I used my Revlon One Step Dryer, another love of the year, but I'm pretty sure I included that last year, so I didn't want to repeat myself. I will link that video down below if you want to check it out. It is just good. I know everybody talks about it, but there's a reason. It's amazing. Next up, let's talk about jewelry. This is something that, number one, I'm always wearing, and I get stuck on certain pieces and I just wear them over and over and over and over again. And so I get tons of questions about them. So I just figured I would pick out my absolute favorites that I wore the most throughout the year and include that here. So starting off, I actually did a jewelry favorites video and some of these were included, but I did that in the summer. So I've gotten some new favorites since then. So I've got things to update you on. This is a layered necklace that I've worn so many times this year. It's from Free People. It's actually nice and tangled up right now, but they have this in so many different tones. I have it in a mixed gold and silver tone. It's 4 different chains all connected together with just one clasp. So it's so easy to just throw on and you've got the really cute layered necklace look, but you didn't have to like fuss with picking out different necklaces that go together and have like 700 clasps in the back. Like this is just like the no-brainer solution to layered necklaces. And I love that they have so many different color options, and I've gotten so much wear out of this. And I think it was only $30, maybe under $30. And I don't wear this in the shower or anything, but it stayed in really good condition for me. Next up, you've seen these two 100,000 times. This bead necklace especially, I paired it with absolutely everything this year. I linked it on almost every single video because I was always wearing it. I love it so much. And then I also love this one. I don't even know what to call this one. I got both of these from the same shop on Etsy. I'm pretty sure they're called Views & Co. I will link them down below. I love these so much. I feel like they held up for me really, really well, and they were both really affordable. So I love that. Okay, and last I want to talk about these two necklaces I have paired together. These have been my latest favorites. I've been wearing them nonstop with absolutely everything. Like, I don't even care. Once I fall in love with some jewelry, I just wear it with everything no matter what. No questions asked. And these are actually from the same brand, 5 & 2. I just discovered them this year. I'm pretty sure they're a smaller brand and I just love their designs. And I've gotten so many questions, especially about this big ball necklace. I don't know what they call it, but in my mind, it's the big ball necklace. It's just so cute. And actually my mother-in-law gave me this one for my birthday. She was asking me for gift ideas, and I'm so horrible with coming up with gift ideas for myself. So I just said, check out 5 & 2. And she picked out this necklace and I've just absolutely fallen in love with it. I think it is so cute. And then the lower one is a longer, smaller, more delicate chain with these 2 little locks. And one of the locks has a little sparkle on it, which is very cute. Next category is like no category. It's just like random life stuff that when I was thinking about 2020 favorites, these things stood out. Plus 2 Amazon things that I forgot to include in my Amazon favorites video that I did, I think last week, the week before, I don't remember. They need to be mentioned. You must know about them. But first off, you probably can get this from Amazon, but I got this from the Container Store. There's actually a dupe from Target as well. It's a divided spinning organizer. You could use this for anything. We have several of them in many different cabinets, closets, everywhere. This thing is just so handy. It spins, it holds so much stuff. It's divided so you can organize it really, really clearly. And obviously we've got snacks in this one. I just grabbed this out of the pantry, but we have several of these throughout the house with all kinds of stuff in them. And I fell in love with these. I did like this whole like organizing haul back like early in 2020. And out of all of the products, except for maybe those bins, I really love those bins. If you watch that video, you know what I'm talking about. But this is probably the product I fell in love with most this year from the Container Store, but also Target. I have ones from both. Okay, now, like I said, there was something forgotten from the Amazon video that absolutely must be mentioned. And this is it. I actually had people in the comments calling me out that I forgot this because they knew this belonged on my favorites list, because I have this really great stick vacuum. It's cordless. It's so easy to use. I love it so much in every way except for emptying this thing. It gives me allergies and I hate that part of it. But everything else about it, I love, except for the fact that it gives me blisters on my fingers. And if you don't have this vacuum and you don't vacuum a lot, you might think I'm being a baby and I'm being crazy, but I brought this up in a vlog and so many of you commented and were like, I have this problem too. It's such a pain in the neck. I absolutely hate it. And I was like, wow, I'm not a baby. Thank you so much for validating my feelings. I thought it was just me. I thought I was vacuuming wrong. But the lesson learned here is that all of your problems can be solved by complaining about them in a vlog, because someone will know a solution. That's how my life works so far. Because of a comment on that video, I found this little trigger attachment that you can get for your Dyson. And I don't know if it works on all of them. Didn't mean to do that and just scared the life out of me. I don't know if it works on all Dysons, but it's just this little plastic attachment. It's designed to look like it was meant to go on here. I don't know why, with all of Dyson's amazing technology, that they don't just include this on the vacuum. But basically you just push this little piece of plastic onto that piece of plastic, and there's a little tiny lever that you can turn the vacuum on and off with, so you don't have to manually push the push button the entire time that you're vacuuming and cause yourself to get blisters, because everybody gets blisters from this for some reason. It's not just me, and this is what you need. It's a cheap little piece of plastic that will change the game for you. I absolutely recommend it. It's been a game changer for me. Hopefully it works for you. Sorry, I just made you look at the dust from my house for 5 minutes. Okay, and now one more Amazon favorite that I did not include in the Amazon favorites video. Big mistake. My fake Birkenstocks, for whatever reason, only brought up one of the pair, but I got so much wear out of these this year. They are far less expensive than name brand Birkenstocks, but I cannot tell the difference. I have Birkenstocks, but I wore these more than my actual Birkenstocks this year. I just wear them around the house, I'll wear them when I'm running outside, really just wear them all the time whenever the weather was warm. I love the color. I love this brand. I think it's Cushionaire. I don't know. I'll find you a link. I think they're comfortable. I like this color. I like ugly shoes, so these are perfect for me. And I wore them so much this year. Okay, moving on to like entertainment favorites. I feel like this category is really lacking. It was just a weird year for me, especially with like podcasts and shows and obviously movies. We weren't going to the movies. We were going to the drive-in, but weren't really seeing new movies all that much. And Grant and I have gotten into the habit of rewatching or watching for the first time old TV shows. Like we watched Sopranos this year. I had never seen Sopranos except for a few episodes from the very last season, but I always wanted to see that. And that's one of the first shows that we really got into when COVID hit. And then we watched Mad Men, and then we watched Veep, and we watched a lot of stuff, but not really like 2020 favorites level, you know what I mean? And also with podcasts, I feel like I was so much more consumed with the news, with the election, with COVID, with all this stuff. And I just kind of got out of the loop with my podcast, and that is so out of character for me. I feel like usually I have like 10 to recommend, but for this year, I really enjoyed Dr. Death Season 2. If you didn't listen to Season 1, that's okay. It's a different story, but I would absolutely say you need to listen to Season 1 because it is a very interesting story. It's like gut-wrenching, I would say, and season 2 has the same quality for sure. And then Hell and Gone season 3, it's another new story. I've liked both of the previous seasons, and the newest season is just as interesting, and it's a wild story and very interesting. And then the last one, I'm pretty sure the name of the podcast is just Guru. I'll try to link it down below in case you're having trouble finding it. And you guys know I am very, very interested in cults or like any kind of like health and wellness, like mindfulness, like scheme or scam, because I feel like that is going on so much in our world, especially now. And this podcast is about a tragic event that was connected to this whole like new age thing. It was James, let me see, actually, what is his name? James Arthur Ray. He was like this guru, and he just had some very unsafe, creepy, bad practices, and he caused some very, very bad things to happen. I don't want to spoil it if you don't know what I'm talking about, but it is a very, very interesting story, and you actually get to hear from people that were involved. It's not a cult, but it's very cultish, if you know what I mean. And actually, talking about cults reminds me, we did actually just watch a series on HBO called Heaven's Gate Cult of Cults, and it's obviously about the Heaven's Gate cult, and it was so interesting. I've listened to podcasts, I've watched shows about Heaven's Gate, like back when I was in elementary school and I did my whole independent study about cults, like I learned about Heaven's Gate. Like it's a very, very interesting one. Also, obviously, very heartbreaking, but they talked to old members. They really got inside of it, and it was very, very interesting. If you have any of those interests, you might really like that series. And we also watched the NXIVM series on HBO. We also watched the NXIVM series on Showtime, and I've talked about this in vlogs. I really enjoyed The Vow on HBO, but then we watched the one on Showtime, and we got Showtime specifically just to watch it, and it showed so many more details. It showed a completely different side to it, and I actually felt like that one was even more interesting. I feel like I'm going off on a cults tangent right now. Let's probably not do this. Those are my favorites for 2020. I'm probably forgetting something important, but hopefully not. I'm so glad you guys are here with me this year. Thank you so much for subscribing. If you've subscribed already, if you haven't subscribed, definitely consider it. I'd love to have you back. I hope you guys are having a good end to this crazy, crazy year, and just know that I appreciate you guys so much. All of your support through this whole year, through my vlogs, through this whole fertility stuff, through IVF. It has been a crazy, hard year with all the health struggles in my family. There's just been so much, and I know there's been so much for me, for you, for everyone, no matter who you are, what you're going through. Like, it's just been a lot, and I can't wait until we can all catch a break. But I just want to say thank you for being here, because reading your comments and making videos for you guys and editing and talking to you guys on Instagram, just all of it, like it just makes my day, and it is a bright spot for me, and I appreciate it so much. This was not supposed to be like a whole thing, but I just wanted to say thank you. If you want to find me everywhere else, it's LeighAnnSays everywhere, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, everywhere. I love talking to you guys over there. And as always, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye everyone. Could you just act right for the video? Is that so hard? It's just getting worse. Yikes. Like, okay, just kidding. The sirens are forever. I'm just gonna put this back here. Oh my God, they're having a sale.